Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing the update review of the Reebok Floatride Energy 5. I've now covered 160 miles nearly in this shoe, 260k. So time to give my update, opinions, scores, etc. Has anything changed? Has the shoe got better or worse? As I've been using it throughout my marathon training. Let's dive straight in. So yeah, this has took a while coming. It took a while for me to get around to filming this. I've obviously done the mileage in the shoe, but I've not had a chance to get this vlog filmed with all the marathon training and training episodes and weekly recaps of the relentlessness of the marathon training block. But yeah, managed to get it done today, so let's get it done. I've already done the initial run in the shoe. I'll tag that there. I did that right at the start of the year. And as well, I did an initial review. So after about 30 miles, 50k, I give my bit more of an in-depth opinion for the first time and give all the scores. This one's a follow-on from that. So we're now 200k, give or take, at about 130 miles later. So has anything changed? Has it got better or worse, this shoe? Like I said, I've been using it as a daily trainer predominantly throughout my marathon training block. On that initial review, I already gave all the stats and facts. If you want to go back and watch that one if you haven't already, in terms of weight, stack heights, etc. Today's just an update. So I'll go back through all the main parts of the shoe and if it's got better or worse. So yeah, initial scored review, it was after about 100k, 60 miles. I initially started the outsole as normal. I gave the outsole an 8 out of 10. Again, pretty good in most conditions. A tiny bit not quite as grippy as version 3 in wet conditions, but again, I've covered this on the previous review that this has become a more of a kind of an all-rounder aimed at a mass market as opposed to the version 3, which is a bit more niche, which is probably more like a 5k, 10k trainer rather than a daily all-rounder in terms of all distances. So I give it 8 out of 10 after the 60 mile 100k review. Now after 260k, 160 miles, I'm going to up that to 8.5. Like I said, it's not great in the wet conditions, but again, the more I've used it, some of that kind of initial veneer has worn off. We're down into the rubber now a little bit more, and the grip's getting a little bit better. Again, in terms of wear and tear, it's starting to show a few signs, but again, nothing dramatically severe, especially at this point in the time when I'm 160 miles in. Yes, I'm going to go from 8 to 8.5 for the outsole. Midsole, moving on to this midsole now. Again, just single layer of the Floatride foam. So not a premium foam, but again, just a normal kind of I'd call it a mid-level foam. But yeah, nice and responsive generally. Quite light, and to some extent, they've got a bit of pop to it. Again, V3, I've mentioned this in the previous reviews, that was a bit more poppy, but also a bit less height and a bit less dense. So you can't have it all. So this one is a bit less responsive, but a bit more, I say, dense and supportive. There was issues with the support and the stability of V3. I did start getting a little bit of inside knee pain towards the end. And also this torsion plate, which is new for V5, again helps with stability for anyone who needs that stability element in a shoe. So yeah, I gave it 8 out of 10 last time. I'm going to stick to 8 out of 10. It's still holding up. It's still doing pretty much everything I want it to do. It can be used again from anything from 5Ks, 10Ks up to half marathon. I wouldn't go much past a half marathon. You probably could get away with a bit longer, but again, it's just a daily trainer, so basically everything in between, fartlek workouts, it's easy running, a couple of bursts. Again, it's not a specific shoe for any specific reason, but it does do a lot of things quite well. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the midsole. Onto the upper. Again, pretty breathable, dual layer mesh. Tongs nice and padded, heel counter with the heel flare. Again, just enough, just not plush, but just enough. Again, as a daily trainer, you don't want it overly comfortable. You also don't want it too minimalistic. So again, I think they've pitched it just right. I give it 8.5 out of 10 last time. No real major issues with everything you want it to do. Roomy toe box, even for wider feet. Again, this fit for me was slightly long. Reebok and Asics are the two brands that generally fit slightly long for me. So I went a half size down and that fits pretty much perfectly. So yeah, I gave it 8.5 last time for the upper. I'm going to stick to that. Again, nothing's changed. No deterioration. No major issues have flared up. Nice place for your foot to be. There is an insole inbuilt in there, which again adds to a bit more comfort. But yeah, 8.5, I'll stick with that score after 160 miles, 260k. Okay, so I'm just trying to make this quick and succinct. So yeah, value, I'll move on to that now. I'll finish with value and durability. Value, again, RRP'd £85. I picked it up, again, discounted for about £45. So for 45, absolute bargain. There's probably not a shoe daily trainer out there you can probably compare with this for £45. For that kind of price, you're normally getting a budget basic like I got last year. all the budget shoes, I'll tag them there. That was the budget shoe experiment I did last year. Basically picked up 3 shoes for under 50 quid and see how they got on. But yeah, obviously I normally go for RRP, so I gave it 8.5 last time. So for £85 as a daily trainer, is that good value for money? And again, I'm going to stick with 8.5. It is, like I said, it does everything you want it to do. You can do a bit of fartlek, you can do mixed pace workouts, you can do just some slow jogs, you can do some steezy work, you can go for 3Ks, 5Ks, 8Ks, 10Ks, 12Ks, all the way up to half marathon distance. This shoe will probably do most of that, can do most of that, and is quite an enjoyable shoe to run in. Not quite as enjoyable as V3, but in terms of value, which we're talking about right now, for £85, I'm going to move on to durability in a minute. It will last and does a lot of things very well. This is one of them shoes, if you're not sure what you're going to do when you get out the door in terms of what kind of workout, you might vary it or change it. This is the shoe I will grab. Again, it pretty much ticks all the boxes, a jack of all trades, which is exactly what you want from a daily. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for value. And last but not least, let's just finish off with durability. I gave it a 9 out of 10 on the last review. After 60 miles, we're now, I'd say, 100 miles later, 160k later. Durability, it's not going to go anywhere. Again, the last one, the V3, got me well past 500 miles and well past 800k. I'm pretty sure this one's going to be exactly the same. Again, I'll do some close-ups. After this length of time already, there's very little wear and tear, so I'm pretty confident nothing's going to change. The density of the foam was what kind of not let it down, but on V3 it was a bit softer of a foam, a bit more responsive, and that's what kind of gave in eventually. Again, my foot started to crash in towards the end, towards them higher once I got kind of a significant amount of miles in there. This should obviously counteract that. This torsion plate plus the slightly denser foam plus a slightly higher stack should maybe hopefully counteract the foam down too fast. So yeah, I'm going to stick to 9 out of 10. I think it's going to get to 500 plus, 800 plus K. So if that's the case, then again, 9 out of 10 for get that kind of mileage out of an £85 shoe, which again is quite enjoyable to run in. We can't really complain for durability. So yeah, just to wrap up with the total scores, it got a 42 out of 50 after 60 miles, 100k. Now after 160 miles, 260k, it's got 42.5 out of 50. So yeah, 85% overall score. So yeah, for a daily trainer, again, for a number of years I've banged on about how good the Floatride Energy series is from Reebok. I've been a big kind of supporter of the series, the Floatride Energy series generally. The Semi-Tros, again, the other shoes in the range, the Semi-Tros is pretty good. You've got the kind of carbon-plated Reebok shoes now. I've always felt Reebok's a bit of an underrated company in terms of, especially for the dailies, again, that price of £85, they don't overprice stuff. They provide good quality shoes at a good quality price. But again, this one's not gone backwards, but it's not quite as enjoyable, not quite as poppy, not quite as fun. But again, does probably become more of it's probably better pitched in terms of a daily now. It does more things better than the V3 did. So I get why they've done it. So yeah, I'll wrap it up there. Nothing's really changed, which is a good thing. It got a good score initially, got a good score in the initial review, and those scores, if anything, have gone up slightly. So like I said, it's pretty solid, it's dependable, it's staying exactly where I want it to be. Nothing's really flaring up as a major issue or a bit of a letdown. It's still a solid all-rounder. Like I said, pretty much anything you want to do. If someone said to me, what shoe should I get? Obviously, if you're only going to grab one, you're not going to make a rotation and you're a new runner and you want to just grab one shoe that does most things. Granted, the daily would be the one you would suggest, but which daily would you suggest? And again, up there still is the Reebok Floatride Energy series. You can't really go wrong. It's not an extortionate price. It does a lot of things. Most people would get on with it. There's nothing that's weird in terms of the fit or the arch or anything like that that would put people off. It would probably suit most people, which is exactly what a daily trainer should be. It's open to the mass market. A lot of runners can get something from it. And yeah, it's still my go-to for any kind of 10k pacing. So I do quite a bit of 10k pacing at the minute in terms of for run through. So if I'm ever doing a 10k at 45 minutes, 50 minutes, give or take, around that kind of window, it's the one I grab. I always grab this shoe as my 10k pacing shoe of choice, which says a lot. I could pick any of the shoes, but I tend to pick this one. But yeah, so I'll wrap it up there. As always, thank you for watching. It took a while to come, but I've finally got around to doing this updated vlog. I've done 3 now, I think, of the 5 shoes in the rotation. So I've got the Takumi Sen to come, the updated review of that. I'm not a million miles away from getting to that kind of 160 miles, 260k marker. So I'll do an update with that one when I get to that point. And then that just leaves my race day shoe. But again, that's been kept behind. So I probably won't hit the mileage on that yet for another few weeks. But when I do, I'll do that one as well. But yeah, marathon training continues. Thanks everyone for watching and follow along with the channel. happy running, and I'll see you all on the next one.